how's it going? It is Tuesday, so it is my day of the week to give you my trainer tip of the week. Now, you might have seen me go live like 30 minutes ago to do this same exact video, and then when I watched it back afterward, it was just super glitchy. I think my internet connection was a little bit crappy, so I'm redoing it, and hopefully it'll be even better the second time around. So, today I'm going to cover how to properly engage your core. So a lot of people, when I'm working with clients or when I'm working with people in class, they're always like, am I doing this ab exercise correctly, or how does my form look? And more often than not, the tips that I give people on their form with exercises that aren't necessarily working your core is things to help them fix their core engagement. So even if they're doing like an overhead press or push-ups or something, more often than not, I'm fixing people's core engagement, because that is kind of the foundation for everything when you're exercising. If your core isn't properly engaged, you're, one, not going to get as much out of the exercise as you can when your core is properly engaged, and two, you are leaving yourself vulnerable to injury as well. So core engagement and learning how to properly engage your core and learning what that feels like is crucial for both successfully getting through a workout injury-free and successfully going through a workout regimen in a way that you're going to ultimately earn results from, right? You don't want to do a bunch of workouts and get nothing out of it, right? And you need to have your core properly engaged in order to do that. So I'm going to take you through a guided exercise. And when I taught mat classes, I almost always warmed up with this exercise. And sometimes I use it with new clients to help them find what a properly engaged core feels like. And it's a lying down exercise. But I want to preface this with what you learn during this guided exercise and what you feel while you're lying down is no different than how you should be engaging your core when you're standing, when you're on a bench, lifting weights, when you're doing any exercise. This should all feel exactly like what I'm helping you to feel now. Also, before I get down and show you what I'm doing, my little buddy Jasper just sat behind me right now. Hi, dude. Hi. I also want to preface this with, your core is every muscle that supports your spine. So keep that in mind as we're going through this guided exercise. You want to make sure that you are supporting your spine from top to bottom. And where does your spine begin? Right here at the base of your skull. So yes, the back of your neck is part of your core, and your spine runs all the way down to your tailbone. So yes, your butt cheeks are part of your core. And you probably, if you've taken class with me, you probably hear me scream this multiple times in a class. Squeeze your butt. So I'm gonna lie down, and you can join me, or you can just save this video and try this later. Jasper, I'm gonna need you to scooch, bud. Up and down, thank you. So what you're going to do is lie down on the floor with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor like this. So you want your feet to be the same width as your hips. So if your ankles and knees are together, your feet are too close. And hi Jasp, he just sat on my arm. And if your feet are wider than your hips, your knees are bowing out, then your feet are too wide. So again, you want your feet hip width. Now from there, I'm just going to have you lie your arms down by your sides right here. And the very first thing that I have you check in with is the upper half of your body. So you want to tuck your chin back and then press the backs of your shoulders down into the ground. So again, I'm going to release and show you what it looks like again. So I released, I'm relaxed, and now I'm going to properly engage the upper part of my core by pressing the backs of my shoulders back into the ground. So as you can see, I just relaxed. When I do press the backs of my shoulders back, I kind of broaden my chest a little bit. You see that? So that's how I lock in my upper core and support my upper spine. Now it's time to focus on the lower part of the spine. So what I'm going to have you do is take a deep, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, pull your belly button back toward the floor and press your lower back down into the floor as hard as you can. So you want to feel your lower back firmly pressing down into the floor. And then release. And then take a deep breath again. As you exhale, pull your belly button and press your lower back firmly down. Hold that nice and tight. Now, while you're holding this, what do you notice? In order to press your lower back down, you didn't just squeeze your abs tight. Let's do it one more time and see if you notice. Release, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press your lower back firmly into the mat. So yes, your abs tightened up, but what else tightened up? In order to press your lower back down, your booty also tightened up a little bit, didn't it? So like I said, your butt is just as much a part of your core as your abdominals are. So let's release again. And then the last thing that I want to bring your attention to is when you take your deep breath and then press your lower back down by squeezing your abs and your booty, did you happen to let your shoulders round forward and come away from the floor? If you did, make sure you press them back down into the floor again. You want to make sure that you don't let your upper back round over just because you kind of rounded your lower back a little bit, okay? So that is the exercise that I put a lot of my new clients through when they're having trouble understanding what a properly engaged core feels like. I do that with a lot of my new clients, and like I said, I also warm up with it in my classes a lot as well. And on a closing note, again, remember that what you felt when you were lying on the floor doing that exercise, shoulders back and down, lower belly tight, pushing your pelvis forward by pulling your lower belly in and squeezing your butt, that all applies when you're standing too. So again, I tuck forward by pulling these in and squeezing these forward. I'm locking my core in. So this all applies to whether you're lying down, standing up, lying on a bench, whatever. That is how you properly engage your core. So think about using your booty just as much as you're using your abs, and chances are your core engagement is going to be on point. If you have any questions about what I just said, leave me some comments, shoot me a message, and if you have any suggestions for what you'd like me to talk about for my trainer tip next Tuesday, again, shoot me a message, leave me a comment, and that is it for the day, guys. Peace out.